A lot of people want to know if they have to give up their favorite foods or if they need to cook without salt when they undergo treatment. It's the dietitian's job to keep you healthy by showing you how to eat and drink the right things in the right amounts. And you'd be surprised how often you can eat the things you like, with some adjustments, of course.
Patients often ask, how will my kidney disease affect my family, my marriage, my job? Where's the money going to come from for treatment? How can I get to a dialysis center when it's so far away? How long do I have to wait for a new kidney? Social workers like me are trained to help you with these questions and more.
Our role as your healthcare team is to work with you right from the first day you come into the dialysis or transplant center and for as long as you're on treatment. We do our job best when you're working with us as part of the team, and you do that best by telling us what's on your mind, what your concerns are, what questions you have, and by learning as much as you can about kidney disease and its treatments. So, let's start at the beginning. You have 2 kidneys. Each is about the size of your fist. They're on both sides of your spine at the bottom of your rib cage. Together they weigh about 10 or 12 ounces. When your body uses the food you eat and liquids you drink, there are waste products and excess fluid that your kidneys filter out as urine. When your kidneys are healthy, they keep your whole system in balance. They release hormones that help to make red blood cells, maintain strong bones, and regulate blood pressure. Usually, you never have to worry about any of this. But when your kidneys become damaged or diseased, then it's a different story. Waste products and fluid build up, and you may feel weak or tired, or you may have swelling in your ankles. You may feel sick to your stomach, you may lose your appetite, feel irritable, and have trouble thinking clearly. Or it's also possible for your kidneys to stop working so gradually that you may not notice any of these symptoms. But either way, when your kidneys stop working, you'll need dialysis treatment or a kidney transplant. To put it directly, for you to live, the work that your kidneys do has to be done one way or another. So our job, and yours, will be to make up for what your kidneys are not doing. As I said earlier, there are 2 options for treatment, dialysis or transplantation. Dialysis is available in 2 forms, hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis.
In hemodialysis, the most common type of dialysis in the United States, we use a kidney dialysis machine to remove waste products and excess fluid from your blood. The process itself is quite simple. Your blood flows out of your body through a specially prepared blood vessel called an access, which is surgically created in your arm or leg, to a dialysis machine, where it passes through an artificial kidney called a dialyzer. As the blood passes through the porous membrane of the dialyzer, it's cleansed and returned to your body through the access. The wastes and excess fluid are carried away into a cleansing solution inside the dialysis machine called the Dialysate, and your cleansed blood flows back to you. The process takes 2 to 4 hours, and most people have treatment 3 times a week. Depending on where you live, you can get hemodialysis at a hospital, dialysis center, or at home. If your treatment center offers home hemodialysis, you'll need to learn how to operate the equipment and make sure all is going the way it should. Well, that's our job too. We'll train you and a family member or someone close to you to help you do the procedure, and we'll get you the equipment and supplies.
At first, it is a little daunting, the idea of having to put needles in someone's arm, especially someone you love, the idea of drawing blood. Putting the needles in now is no more scary for me than making toast. It's just something I do. But yeah, in the beginning, I can see where that would be very scary. But when you have this team, everybody behind you doing everything they can to support you and encourage you, and all along the way, everybody's saying, you can do it, no problem, you can do it. And pretty soon you believe you can do it. And after you've done it a while, it's just second nature.
You'll still have to come into the center periodically for checkups. And if you want to talk to us before your scheduled visits, we're only a phone call away.
Though most dialysis patients in the United States are on hemodialysis, Many choose peritoneal dialysis. This process does much the same thing as hemodialysis, but doesn't require frequent trips to a dialysis center. And it can be done at home, at work, anywhere, even while you sleep. And you do the procedure yourself. With peritoneal dialysis, a special sterile cleansing solution called a dialysate flows into your abdominal cavity through an access in your stomach called a catheter. The lining of your abdominal cavity, called the peritoneum, acts as a natural filter. The waste products from the blood flow through the lining into the solution, which is then removed from the body through the catheter. The process is done a number of times a day, each day.
I work. I mean, I have a full-time job. I have a management-type job in private industry, so, you know, this works out perfectly for me. On my schedule, I intend to do my exchange at lunch, probably go home to start with until I get accomplished at it, and then do one in the morning, one at lunch, one around dinner time, and then one at night.
I'll go over two different types of peritoneal dialysis and hemodialysis in detail in each of the videos on these subjects. The other form of treatment is transplantation.
The doctors and the staff, the nurses and staff over here at the hospital supplies with lots of information on transplant, and there's, you know, publications and whatnot. So I was given plenty of information, and I knew that's what I want to do, get on the kidney transplant.
In transplantation, the work of your kidneys is done by a healthy kidney, which we surgically place into your body. Because the healthy kidney comes from someone else, it must be compatible with your blood and tissue type. A blood relative usually makes the best donor, but a donated kidney can also come from a non-blood relative, like a wife or husband. In fact, any healthy person may be able to donate a kidney, though the chances of a good match are better with a blood relative. Most donated kidneys come from someone who has died. They're called cadaveric kidneys. Live donor kidneys and cadaveric kidneys both work well in a successful transplant. If you choose transplantation, then a team very much like this one, but which specializes in transplantation, will work with you at a transplant center.
The first step in getting a transplant is asking your nephrologist about an evaluation. If you're on dialysis, you can ask any member of your healthcare team. Dialysis and transplant centers work together, and either one can help you.
Just recently, I spoke to the doctor about a transplant because I have certain brothers and sisters that are very close to me, you know, and they really wanted to give me a kidney. And the doctor said that'd be a good thing to do.
To learn more about transplantation, see that video in this series.
Well, which treatment is right for you, dialysis or transplantation? As you can see, the decision is based on a lot of things: your age, overall health, family support. There are other things to consider, like, do you live alone? Do you have a friend or relative that can help you? Do you have other significant health problems? Are you good at taking medicines? These are just some of the things you'll have to think about when choosing a treatment. As we said earlier, you play an important role in choosing the one treatment that's right for you.
Dr. Williams, our viewers might like to know that if they choose dialysis, they can still be evaluated for a transplant later on?
Absolutely.
As we all know, many people change their treatment over time. Your condition may change over time. As it does, so can your treatment to accommodate these changes. The idea is to make treatment a part of your life and not take over your life. But any change in your treatment must be planned for with your healthcare team.
Is there anything else?
Cost for treatment. You'll be relieved to know that most, if not all, expenses are covered by Medicare, as well as by many private insurers and state programs. Your social worker can answer many questions about coverage or direct you to others who can help.
Well, we've covered a lot of things. Let's review some of them. Frank, why don't you begin?
For starters, we've introduced you to the healthcare team.
And you learned about dialysis and transplantation, and that these treatments are discussed in further detail in other videos in this series.
You also learned there are videos and booklets in the series on coping, nutrition, and EPO, a special medicine that treats anemia caused by chronic kidney disease. Each video is designed to help you learn to live a fuller, more enjoyable life. Take the time to look at them. You'll find them very informative.
We've talked about being evaluated for a transplant.
You've seen that regardless of which treatment you choose, it means sticking to a plan, which includes following a diet and taking all of your medicines faithfully, exactly as they're prescribed.
And most important of all, you've seen that you can and should take an active role in choosing a treatment that's right for you. And you do that best by learning all you can about the various treatments available and talking to your healthcare team. All this will go a long way to making you feel better. But what will make you feel even better yet?
A positive attitude.
And that may not always be easy. Having kidney disease can be quite overwhelming at times. You're going to have your good days and your bad. And it's up to people like us, your healthcare team, and you and your family working together to come up with a healthcare plan that not only gives you more good days than bad, but makes them as good as they can possibly be. All of us here hope you've learned something about kidney disease and its treatment. But keep in mind, this video is just an overview and probably will not answer all the questions you and your family may have. That's why it's so important that you take the time to watch the other videos in this series and discuss your questions with your healthcare team. They're ready to help you in any way they can.